this is Sean. In today's video, we'll be taking you through how to create a site entry report using Advertising Cloud data. Some learning objectives today. We will explain how to use Advertising Cloud data for site entry analysis. We will determine where and how a user entered the site. And then we will describe dimensions and visuals you can use with this report. So quick introduction to a site entry analysis. With this report, we are exposing how someone who either clicked through or viewed through an Advertising Cloud placement came to your site. So this could be any type of dimension within Adobe Analytics, and by using the EFID instance metrics, we actually expose all the data that collects around that entry point. So we're not limited by any dimensions within Adobe Analytics. We can use anything in terms of a view through or click through. We can understand what web browser they came through. We can understand the hour of the day or the day of week. Entry pages, site, DMAs, city, marketing channels, anything that is collected on your Adobe Analytics. When somebody enters your site through an AdCloud click or view through, we can report on. Benefits for using a site entry analysis: we are able to understand how our advertising is influencing site entry. We can determine insights to when and how to serve our advertising placements. And then we can add these to our dashboards for quick access. So let's jump into Analysis Workspace, and I'll show you how I put this together. So right now I'm in a workspace environment. And what I want to start to do is start to build this analysis. So I set up a couple panels to start this process, and I also segmented this panel by Advertising Cloud data. If you want to change this, you can go into your ad platform and you can update this to be anything. So it could be Google, it could be Bing, it could be the DSP. It could also be any type of ad cloud placement, campaign, ad type, anything you want to learn about in terms of how people are entering the site. So what we're going to do, we're going to throw together this analysis, and it's going to look at browser types. It's going to look at day of week, time of day. I'm just going to show you how easy it is to drag and drop this data into Analysis Workspace. So the first thing I want to do is I want to take my EFID instance. I want to drop it on the map. I want to build that. That's going to build out a geo report for me, where I can zoom in to the United States. I can actually change these settings based on your preference. I typically like the heat map with a bright setting. So I have my ad cloud entry by state. The next thing I want to do is I want to bring in my browser type into this report. So let me search for the browser. I can drop this into my panel, and this will let me know all the browsers that are entering through. I can change this to my top 5. The next analysis I'm going to look at is actually heat map. So this is going to take a look at hour, day on the left, day of week on top, and it will give me a feel for when people are coming to my site in terms of day, week, and hour, day. So I take my EFID instance, I'll drop it here again. I will find my hour, day dimension. And then my day of week is going to sit on top of the EFIDs. So I'm going to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday through the end of the week. I'm going to drag this underneath EFID instances. And what you can do from here is you can actually turn this into a conditional highlighting, and that will update it to be a heat map. So I can change this to conditional highlighting. And then I can remove the numbers if I want to, or I can just do percentage. And this will give you a feel for how people are entering the site. Next panel here is your ad cloud entry point by view or click through. So if you just want to get a total percentage of the entry by landing type, you would have a dimension within the Advertising Cloud integration called landing type. I can stick these two into here. And let me first take my EFID instance to there. And let me just take. So now I have my entry by click-through or view-through. So I can see that about 80% of the time when someone has been exposed to an ad, they come to the site. About 20% of the time, someone clicks through the ad. Marketing channel, I can stick this under here. I can take my marketing channel report. So I can understand when someone is exposed to an ad, what channel are they coming through? Are they coming through email? Are they coming in through search? Are they coming in through affiliates? Gives me a feel for the landing type by that. And if you want to make that a little bit more by click through or view through, I can actually stick the view through and the click through underneath the EFIDs, and that will say, well, how do people come through when it's a view through? How do people come in through when it's a click through? You can see when it's a click through, we're actually going through the DSP click through market channel, which is great. And then all these other view throughs are showing me, where these marketing channels are helping with the entry. And the last one I want to look at is the entry page. So I'm going to just take my entry page dimension, stick it in this one, and use my EFID. And I'll do the top 10. So by the end of it, you're going to have a final report that looks like this. It's going to give you a feel for the browser type in terms of how you guys are serving ads, hour day, day of week, marketing channel entry points. You can graph it out. So if you want to see if your Apple traffic or your Google traffic is going up or down, you can trend it out on the daily trends. And that way you guys can have a report you can reference in your dashboards or maybe just as an ad hoc analysis to determine when and how to serve your placements. So in summary, we went through how to use advertising cloud data for site entry analyses. We were able to use the EFID instance and drop it on top of our marketing channel dimensions or our day of week dimensions, entry page dimensions to determine how people are entering the site. And then we describe what the dimensions were and what visuals you can use with it. Something like the heat map is a really cool way to see how people are entering your site through a day a week or an hour of the day. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys soon.